Hey everyone, Dr. Frunky here with an awesome new knife consult on the CKF Spectra. This is a knife that is a collaborative effort with Christensen Knifeworks or CKnifeworks or CKnifeworks on Instagram and with CKF. So a lot of C's and K's going on with this collaboration right here. But this is an awesome new offering and it features some interesting new looks and materials that I was personally interested in. And I got this through a trade that's going on with my buddy Nico, who goes by Today's Grail, Tomorrow's Beater, and a good viewer and friend Cam. So thanks guys for letting me check this knife out. As always, it comes in CKF's nice packaging. They send it with this very nice pouch, a nice microfiber cloth. It has this certificate of authenticity showing the designer is Matt Christensen. It's got M390. Some of them have Damascene steel. This one is titanium and carbon fiber. You can use the hashtag Spectra knife, and you can find this on Instagram. So kind of a neat thing right here. Go ahead and tag your own knife in there. I may have to do that when I post this video. So take a look at this thing. It is a big, bad knife. Just like the Critical from Kaiser, Matt Christensen makes these big, imposing knives, and this one certainly follows suit. This one is definitely more ergonomic, and I really have enjoyed this knife, and I wanted to show this to everyone, and let's take a look at it. So we'll go ahead and get some vital signs on this guy. Up front, we are looking at very close to a 4-inch blade. I would say that this is really about 3.9 inches, 3.8 inches maybe, but a very large blade at that. It's got about 4 1/4 back to the pivot. You're looking about 8 3/4 inches of overall, just about 5 inches of handle, give or take. You're about 4.4 inches of grip area. So it's a large knife. With all this titanium and steel going on right here, it is a bit heavy. You can definitely feel it in hand. The overall weight is coming in at 6.18 ounces on my scale right here. As I mentioned before, it is a rather large knife, so let's go ahead and get some other knives out here for a size comparison. This is a Paramilitary 2 right here. This is a Something Obscene Company Nimley 2.0. This one, it has a somewhat large cleaver style blade right here. Another big and imposing knife. Other knives that people may be familiar with in this sort of price range, you're looking at a Koenig Arius right here. So you can see this knife is quite large. Let's bring out a Shirogorov F3. Now I bring this knife out specifically to show you the carbon fiber. So if you look at my mat right here on the display here, and the carbon fiber on both of these knives, these actually all come from the same place. There's a Russian distributor called Carbon Plate. In fact, Bill Koenig has used some of Carbon Plate's products on some of his knives. In fact, I have a project coming up with him with some of this carbon fiber. So it's cool to see that this marbled carbon fiber on here is coming from that manufacturer. I think he makes some of the coolest stuff in the world, so happy to talk about it there. Let's go ahead and break this knife down anatomically and see what we're working with. Up front is that blade of M390, done in this very wicked sort of modified Tanto, harpoon Tanto kind of a look. This is a big blade. It reminds me a bit, if I'm honest, of the Borka blades shape of a knife. I realize that it's not that shape, but it has some similarities to it. It's pretty obvious, but I do like it. It's rather aggressive, but I think that this is only going to be suited for a very specific type of knife buyer. Really and truly, this is not a knife that you want to take out in the lunchroom, in the office, certainly not in the operating room or in front of a patient in terms of my work, because it's very intimidating, very aggressive, and very large. So really and truly, you've got to know what you're buying. If you're into these large blades like this, you can definitely take a look at this one. I'll take a look at the blade stock for you. It is coming in at 157 thousandths on the dot. So standard blade stock. This hollow grind is well done. It is quite slicey behind the edge there, so it does work in that regard. It will work well for cardboard cutting and things like that. Probably not your best food prep type of knife. Moving back to the pivot, this guy is running on some very smooth ball bearings. One thing that CKF does quite well is the fact is their detents and their lockups and their actions. They're always quite smooth. Oftentimes they are smoother than the custom versions themselves. I really enjoyed the Gavco models that they did, and a lot of the other ones, they really always have this dialed in, and this is no exception. The action is excellent on this knife. This is a brand new knife with time and break-in and another maintenance. I think it will be an incredible action. You can spidey flick the knife with the hole on the back there. It's quite easy to do that. I'll say that the angulation of the hole is not perfect for the most comfortable spidey flick, but it does work just fine, so that's okay. There's some nice jimping up on top of the blade right there. Works quite well for the thumb. Another grip that I've enjoyed is like this. I like harpoon blades for this very reason. It provides your finger, your index finger, a resting point so that you can use it. The beauty of a tanto is that you have two different points, so you can either draw cut with the primary point or the tip out there. So I do enjoy that about these big tantos like that. It is a very utilitarian shape. Let's take a look at the lockup here. Something I really like is that this is a bolster lock. This is not an easy thing to produce very easily, and in production I bet it's very difficult. I do appreciate that. A lot of people value the bolster lock because you get a lot of the benefits of the comfort of a liner lock type handle, but you have the strength of the frame lock, the full thickness of that frame lock. So I do appreciate that. You can see the lock bar cut out right there. On the inside of those scales. Let's take a look at these scales. This marbled carbon fiber from my pal Carbon Plate. Very cool stuff. I like that a lot. There is a black backspacer. To be honest, I think this is probably titanium. I'm kind of confused by that as a design choice. I guess it matches the titanium clip, which is done in black. I might have rather seen this done in the standard gray, the standard titanium finish that they have here, or carbon fiber for the backspacer. Not really sure. Not sure about that design choice. I see the black from the blade, I guess, on the backspacer and everything. If I'm honest, I might have liked to see a more stonewash finish. Maybe there are some other finishes. I should probably take a look at that. I will leave a link in the description down below so you can check out all the different models of this. What I will say is that this knife is very well made. It has a very solid feel to it. The lockup is excellent. It has a steel lock bar insert. The ergonomics are significantly improved from the critical. I will say there's still a bit of a sort of an uncomfortable point at the back of this handle right here, but it's not quite as offensive as it was on the critical. Not a hot spot when you're holding the knife in your hand. Very comfortable in the hand, especially if you have a larger hand. So this is definitely more of a specialty knife. Definitely something that will need a very specific kind of a buyer. But if you're into these larger knives, more tactical knives, and you're into very well-made versions of these kinds of things, then this is definitely a knife worth checking out, the CKF Spectra. I wanted to say thanks again to my buddy Nico for letting this come through. I'm going to be sending this off to its new owner. Thank you guys for checking this video out. Let me know what you think of the CKF Spectra down below in the comments. Go ahead and click like and subscribe. Head over to Instagram and follow me at Dr. Frunky. And as always, guys, take care.